Let's call the meeting to order.
Howard Ron,
Here.
Deborah Carlson is here, is not here, Chuck Carnell will be here. David Freeman
Is here.
Ed Woodville,
Here.
Jim Nastey is tied up in Philadelphia, and Steve Ross.
Here.
Okay, well, let's start with the non-controversial stuff before Trent gets here. So the first item is consideration of the minutes for the meeting on November 3rd, 2014. Copy of the minutes are attached. Does anyone have any comments, suggestions, changes, or is there a motion with respect to the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? They're passed. Second item is public comment. If you're here and you don't have one of our two items listed, then now's your chance to talk to us. No public comments. So that gets us to item 3, or item 5 rather. I think 4 and 5. I think we should meet. And the reason we're waiting is what I said before, that we need 4 votes. So everybody who's not here is a no vote. So let's wait a couple seconds.
There were no items for the March agenda. There is one item already filed for the April 13th. That deadline is the end of February, so there might be some other items on the April 13th.
So the 13th, is there a holiday?
Yes,
Okay.
there's a holiday. The holiday is the basketball championship.
Oh.
And I have decreed after the first 3 or 4
Okay.
where the meeting was going on, the basketball game was going on, I've decreed that we're not having meetings on that game, during that game.
So zoning.
It was in
Zoning.
Visualization.
The source of this was the Duke Butler game,
Yeah, okay.
and our past chairman, I love her dearly, but we couldn't get her to stop, and I watched the thing, and she didn't stop talking
I
until it
remember.
ended.
Yeah. Oh man, there was another date. Oh, December, no? September. The 21st. It seemed late. Was that a holiday thing again?
Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3.
Right.
Okay.
There's Labor Day on the first one, and there's another one on the second one.
Okay,
and
all right.
Ended up on the third.
Just curious when I was filling those in. Oh, wow, okay.
So is there a rule about whether somebody can vote if they haven't heard everything? This has to do with whether I hate to keep people hostage here, and we think Trent is coming.
Traditionally, when someone has missed part of the hearing, they say that they've reviewed the evidence, and there's, if someone has missed a full meeting, they'll say that they have reviewed the minutes or the tape.
Okay, so we're gonna wait 4 minutes, and then we're gonna go. And then we'll see how it's going.
It's like college. If the instructor wasn't there 10 minutes into the time.
Well, this is actually the opposite. This is in deference to people who are spending their Monday night with us, even though they would rather not.
Right.
The chair or John could provide a summary of testimony given
Right.
up to that point.
We're gonna do that in 3 minutes. I just,
Anybody read any good books lately?
I'm reading the Doris Kearns Goodwin book.
Yay.
Oh.
All right.
Good job. While you were gone, your spot was abolished.
These things happen.
My husband is putting the kids down, so take as long as you need.
No.
I'm happy to wait.
Let's start with the public hearing to consider a request of Robert Dodge Daverman, 692 Bluff, to reduce the south side yard and setback for 2 air conditioning compressors and to reduce the north corner side yard for an open deck. If you're here to talk about that, in fact, let's swear everybody in, because for both of them, because when you testify, you need to be under
Want
oath.
to raise your right hand, you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in the matters about to be heard today? Thank you.
Tell us why you think we should grant this request.
Well, so the request is really a two-part request, as you see. What I'm looking to do is to add an outdoor grilling area onto our deck that we will be building. Currently, we're permitted to have a landing with stairs going off the back. What we're looking to do with respect to the deck is just carve off a portion of what would be stairs, convert it into an open area for the grilling deck so that we can have an area to cook and prepare foods. It's off the kitchen at the same level as the kitchen for convenience and for safety. The second part is a side yard variance to allow for air conditioning compressors to be placed in between my house and my neighbor's house, as opposed to off the back area of our house sun porch, which today is actually a sport court with a basketball hoop for our kids to play on and enjoy kind of the outdoor backyard. If you look at our lot, we have an extremely narrow lot. So when you take into account the setbacks that constrain us today, I think, what is it, we left with something like 15 feet of usable space to be able to put these compressors and so forth in. I've got a letter here from my neighbor to the south, probably the neighbor who would be most largely impacted by the compressors, to submit a sign saying they're in favor. Don't know who I would submit this to.
You know, give it to our lawyer here, he'll check it out.
Okay.
But it's good that you did that. So tell us why you think you have a hardship here. And you mentioned one of the hardships was the weird, narrow configuration of the lot. But
Yeah, so I mean, the main hardship here is that I have a legal non-conforming home on a narrow lot, and in order to provide myself with a safe, in times like today when we have 2 feet of snow on the ground and want to be able to go outside and still cook outside and entertain outside, I think that it affords me kind of a safer opportunity to do that, where I don't have to deal with stairs and the like. And I think that just the lot itself is a hardship in that I'm kind of confined to be able to have that area within only 15 feet of usable space, really.
so, and what about the air conditioning? A concern is that you can listen to whatever you want to that you put in there, including your air conditioning. What, if anything, can you do to make sure your neighbors aren't hearing your air conditioning?
So the interesting thing, my neighbors actually have outdoor livable area adjacent to where our sport court is today, which is off the back of the house, that sun porch extending off of the living room where that fireplace is. So if we were to put the compressors where we're kind of constrained to do so without a variance, we would actually be impacting them more negatively than if we're allowed to get this setback and place the air conditioning units in between the two houses, kind of more in the middle, where they don't have any rooms that would be affected by it. They have a kitchen there with a range and a big wall and windows that would be open, that sort of thing. So that's why I believe it's a more favorable situation to have the compressors located over there for both of our houses, as opposed to where we would otherwise have to put it.
Anybody have any questions? Mr. David?
The neighbor to the south is the Estrada?
Estrada, yeah.
Okay, and that's who the letter is from?
Yes,
Okay, and what does the letter say?
we are the Davermans. next door neighbors at 690 Bluff, the lot immediately to the south. We are writing this letter in support of the Davermans' request to reduce their south side yard setback for 2 air conditioning compressors and to reduce the north corner side yard for an open deck. We have seen their plans and are in favor of their request being approved. Mitch and Megan Estrada.
Okay. Since I'm one of the guys who normally says, what's your hardship? I see this lot as being a hardship, just the configuration of the house. You can see the 2005 edition alone shows the extent of hardship that's inherent in this particular lot. So that question's answered for me.
Would you further describe the rear porch? It's just a little confusing to me. It says new stairs, landing and railing. What is there now and what is to be?
So today, there's basically a, I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 foot wide landing with stairs coming down off of a mudroom. The addition, which we've already received a permit for, it's not an addition, sorry, the renovation, is gonna reconfigure the inside to make the space more usable. Today, given kind of the L-shaped configuration, there's a lot of dead space within the layout, so we're reconfiguring the kitchen. As a result, we're gonna end up having 2 large sliding glass doors on that west-facing side.
So we have this first
Yep.
floor plan.
Yep.
Okay, so I see that.
So you're gonna see that, and there will be then a landing and stairs going down off of the sliding glass doors. Today.
But that landing and stairs doesn't exist today?
Doesn't exist today, no.
So what does exist today?
Today, what exists is about a 4 to 5 foot wide landing and stairs coming down off the center of where that porch is drawn today. And that goes into a mudroom that exists there today that does not exist on the plans you're looking at.
So the plan is to build this entire stair and landing across the rear of the kitchen and mudroom?
Correct.
And it's just this crosshatch piece that doesn't comply,
Correct.
and not the entire landing?
No, the landing and the stairs were allowed to.
Because you're rebuilding something that's already there?
It's an allowed exception in the setbacks for there to be a landing that's no more than 4 feet out from the building and 1 foot on each side of the operable doors, and for a stairway to be on there from the first floor down. It's an allowed exception in the zoning code.
So why is the crosshatched area not part of that concept?
It's not a stairway, it's a deck. There's
So
no
this
stair.
is just at the level of the first floor?
It's at the same level as, this first floor is an older home that's higher than
So
usual.
this increases the usability of their backyard and creates more,
I think the owner can address
Yeah.
that.
yes.
John, if it was a stairway across the entire back, it would be okay.
If those were all operable doors, yes, yeah, that's
But she has
correct.
2 big sliding doors.
Yeah.
It's been permitted to allow us to do that today.
So it's a slight nuance to what otherwise would be allowable, and it is very functional. And as part of the remodel, it certainly makes sense, and I don't think it changes the character at all of the backyard.
I think
to
it's
the
giving
neighbors.
you a larger flat area, and it's labeled as a new grill area, so that you're not on the landing with your grill for
Yep.
the use of that
Yep.
deck area.
That's correct.
Can you speak to the alternate locations you evaluated for the air conditioning units and why this is the alternative?
Well, so the only alternative to stick within the setbacks would be to put it, basically, if you look at the existing living room where that fireplace is, below that fireplace, so that's gonna be to the west. Because this new addition, that basically defines the the setbacks that we're allowed to.
I'm sorry, could you name the location again?
So if you're looking at the floor plan, if you see the existing living room and the fireplace,
Yes.
directly below that, there is a kind of a rectangular room, that's a sun porch.
Okay.
If you go even further below that, that's where we would be allowed to put these AC compressors.
Okay.
And, so for my purposes, I don't wanna have
And
to
that-
put
and
it
that's
on the
within-
sport court.
That's within the setback?
That's the only place within the setback, yeah.
Okay.
Where are the air handling units? Where's your furnace room and your,
So, the furnace room is, adjacent to where the open deck, the proposed open deck is, in that corner, in the basement. So we're trying to kind of minimize the length of whatever mechanical needs to go from the compressor to that room. We're also trying to create a location to put these that minimizes the sound impact to us and to our neighbors. Like I said before, putting it in the only place we're allowed to put it today, which would be where our sport court is below that sun porch, is directly adjacent to our neighbor's outdoor deck where they have, outdoor dining tables and like to, enjoy the summer months.
Any more questions? Mr. David? Anybody wanna make a point, or if not a point, a motion?
I'll move we accept the variation request of Mr. Daverman to construct an open deck and two air compressors per the submitted plans.
Is there a second?
second?
We have a roll call here.
Carlson? Excuse me, Cornell,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Goodale,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
and Rowan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
So, our next victim is a public hearing to consider a request of Brad Jarros, 501 Grove, to reduce the required east rear yard setback for a room enlargement addition. So, if you're gonna speak to this, tell us who you are, and then tell us why we should grant this thing.
My name is Beth DeBaker. I'm the architect for the project. My company is DeBaker Design Group. My client Christina Jarros is here tonight. The packet I'm handing out to you is basically the same. It does have elevation drawings in it for your reference.
A better quality photo.
And a better quality photo, yes. I printed out a couple for you. So, I've been working with Brad and Christina for a while conceptually, looking at the house as a whole. As you may have looked at, if you've driven by the property, it's a really nice stately Georgian. Unfortunately, it's been added onto over and over and over again, which has, if you look at the existing floor plan, you'll see has created kind of a series of small rooms, kind of some strange additions and some things happening on the back that are, kind of distracting from the grandeur of the house as a whole. What we'd like to do is even out the rear facade to align with the second floor and also to align with the front of the house. The property has a nice big overhang on the back, so the addition that we're proposing is entirely enclosed in the bulk of the existing house. It's under the eave, but we want to square off the interior space as well as have the architecture make sense from the exterior. So the variation, I think, is actually for the FAR. So we're asking for an additional 29 square feet of floor area. The house is set back. We wouldn't be increasing the east yard setback at all. We would just be bumping up this. I think you have the site plan in your packet, but this portion right here, which is already almost 55 feet, so the shaded area right there. So we would make it to a line front to back. This piece looking more like a sunroom area as opposed to, and have it to sort of make a little bit more sense on the rear of the house.
What's the percentage of setback that we're allowed to grant? Or setback floor area?
It's 15% for floor area ratio.
So, and this is a request for a little more than a third of that.
Yes. Actually, part of the existing house is over, cause it was built before the current requirements for floor area ratio, so their effective percentage is only a minor amount when you look at 29 square feet as it relates to the
Yeah.
total.
29 square feet's not a lot.
But it's still, you know, overall, it's a 6.3%. You have to look at the total
I think the
number.
garage was detached at some point. There's a portion of the area of the house that's slab on grade, where like that rear bedroom is right now. That I think was either completely outdoor space or was a carport or something like that. So maybe, I don't know, the FAR of course has evolved over the years too, but it's just sort of been put together, kind of a hodgepodge, and so Brad and Christina really like to, you know, be more true to the architectural style. We're not asking to change the bulk or the massing of the house. This is really pretty invisible if you look at the elevation view. Again, not changing the roof line at all, just building out that corner of the first floor plan.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about this request?
On the photograph,
Yeah.
could you just point out where the jog is? Is it from here over?
This is the existing.
Right.
Where we're proposing to is basically to align with the second
This,
floor right
and
here.
then this is
Yep.
the office going forward?
Exactly.
Okay.
So this line
This is the
aligns up.
mudroom?
Yes,
The
this
to
would
be
be
built.
the new mudroom, yeah.
And
So right
then
now
this-
these are like two little rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Mhm.
So yeah, the idea would be that it would align with the living room wall and here. This wall is actually the original house.
Has anybody weighed in among the neighbors about this?
Well, the corner lot of the house that's immediately to the south is under construction right now with Highgate. Christina has talked to her neighbors, on the other two
I
neighbors.
have to my, to the north, it's the Suttles, they are 94 and declining health, and I did not even approach them, about it. They've been lovely neighbors and they're fine to, deal with. I have I have knocked on the door to my neighbor behind us several times. She is not home, and I have never met her.
Okay. Nobody's complained to us.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
everyone gets
we have not
noticed,
gotten
and nobody's
any calls at
complained.
all.
Hard to imagine what you complain about, because it's invisible to
Yeah.
everybody. Anybody have any questions? Anybody wanna make a motion?
Actually, I guess just a comment, I would normally say this is self-created, but, I mean, this is de minimis, it's such a small addition, and in fact, you've nicely cleaned up the plan, inside with this and the elevation, you know, it's definitely lining things up, so.
And the applicant could have pushed the envelope and come to this board with a larger request.
That's right.
Easily could have massaged this into a larger request.
Anybody wanna make a motion?
Sure. Move we accept the variation request of, Mr. and Mrs. Jaros to construct a room addition on the east side of the house per the submitted plans and elevation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's have a vote.
Cornell,
Yes.
Bigman,
Yes.
Goodale,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
and Howard Roll.
Aye. Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your
Thank you, gentlemen.
presentation and your plans. Good luck with your project.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
So we've gone through everything we need to do. I think that means that there's no special reason to add anything to our non-existent agenda for March, so we're not having anything in March. So the next meeting is a week after the basketball game in April.
April 13th. There's one item for that.
Second.